let's pretend, because this is what people forget. You know, everybody walks around thinking that we live in tumultuous times right now, that we're living in time. What do you think it was like when Kennedy was president? That he was fucking Marilyn Monroe and opposing this and opposing that. We've never been happy, guys. As a country, we've never been happy with who the president is. Never has there been a 4 years where everybody's completely happy. So I leave that shit alone.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever happy.
No.
And now it's building. Like it's building and it's building a little bit more. It's building every year a little bit more. Nobody's ever happy. You know, we think like the glory days of when Eisenhower was here and Kennedy. And then Nixon came. I still remember being a kid and Nixon resigning and Mom crying like a fag that we lost our president. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fucking know. I didn't know that there was Watergate. So the all that shit, there's always been turmoil. We just don't know. We think that we live in the worst of it. We have no idea.
Yeah, people always think that.
You know, I still remember going to grammar school where once a week you had a drill to go to the basement because we were going to get bombed by the Russians.
Right.
And then downstairs there was old cans of corn and fucking bread that had mold on it. And you had to sit there.
Book of Mormon.
No windows and shit in a room. You know, they were called underground shelters.
Yep.
And every building, when you walked in, had to have a sign that said underground shelter. They had Tang. And they had fucking water and old fucking tanks. You know, this is what we don't remember. We've always been in a conflict.
Food and stuff.
We just take this conflict. Everything is a little bigger today because of the media and the internet.
Right.
We just don't have 3 people telling you a story. We have 2,000 people telling you a story.
Everybody's got a story.
And then we have 2,000 people that sit there all day and pick up the scab all day for Americans to watch that and get sucked in.
Yeah.
Somebody put something today on a thing, and they put, "This has always killed me." And I didn't learn this till I was 27. And I'm going to drop it on you motherfuckers right now. If you plan on doing anything with your life, if you really plan on doing anything with your life, if you're serious, really serious about doing anything with your life, I want you to think about something that I didn't think about till I was 27. I grind him about it. I grind everybody about it, okay? Football is great. I got no problem with you unless you paint your face like that idiot yesterday at the fucking Rams game. He sat there like the Indian when they threw litter in the water. In the 60s, remember that picture of the Indian? He sat there with a little tear. He put on like a San Diego Charger face. Why would you do something like that? Now you gotta get on the train with a bunch of people throwing shit at you. I would never come in. I just wear a shirt and you fucking go and you cheer for whoever you like. But to get dressed up like a pirate and have ink in your face, get a fucking life.
Well,
Today somebody put a picture up. And I'm going to say this whether people like it or not, or what they think of me or what they don't think of me, because this is what my reality was. Today somebody put a picture up of who do you think will win the fight. And they put Lee Syatt against Burt, whatever. And I put down, why would you even think about that?
About
like how much free time, no, in a fight.
In a fight?
Like how much free time do you have in the day that you have to think about that? That's why I love when people come up to me and go, "Who's going to win the next UFC fight, Collar Beam?" I don't even, dog, I'm worried about feeding my family today.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm seriously.
Yeah.
And that's a mentality I've had when I was 27 years old, a black guy in prison. I'll never forget you. Sometimes at night after roll call, after like you weren't allowed to go out of your barracks, but you were allowed to sit in front and smoke a cigarette. And if you had insomnia, you could go out there and sit and listen to the mosquitoes. As long as it wasn't 10 fucking black dudes jumping up and down, listening to Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. They didn't give a fuck. Or 8 white bikers. If you went out there by yourself and you couldn't sleep, if a guard walked by, he'd go, "You okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, I just can't sleep." They'd walk away. You know, you're not smoking. And one guy, a black guy, sat next to me. I'll never forget, he worked with me in the kitchen. And he was a nice enough guy. And I asked him one of my stupid, typical white fucking questions that only I would think of. I remember somebody telling me to my face one time, "You have a great sense of holding useless information." Like somebody told me to my face.
Treasure trove of useless information.
Like you're like it's information that doesn't really matter.
Trivial, okay.
You know, it really doesn't matter. Like we, as young men, we think like it doesn't matter at the end of the week. It doesn't. You're not impressing me with that bullshit about this or that. And I'll never forget. He said to me, "I think if you put as much time into thinking this dumb shit as you did into getting your life together, you'd be like motherfucking bad motherfucker." And I remember like looking at him and getting ready to say "fuck you." And I went to bed and I thought about what he said, and my life changed. That moment, a black convict that had 8 years left on his sentence said that to me. And the guy was like a model of he was a great cook, or whatever the fuck he did in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I told this kid that because I put down, you have time to think about this? Really? This is what your day consists of. You have time to think about this fucking hand job. And then a bunch of people answered back. And I said, Eddie, I'm not putting you down. That was the mentality I had when I was a weak sack of shit. And it took somebody to tell. That's why I don't mind fuck. I call those mind fucks. This town is filled with mind fucks.
Yeah.
If you accept them. When we first got here, it was Castnet. You sign with an agent, you got to be a part of Castnet. Then 3 years later, you got to be a part of this. Then 4 years later, you got to be a part of this. And 8 years later, you got to do all this. And you know what? At the end of the week, you don't have to do nothing.
You got to adapt.
All you got to do is fucking get up and get on stage as many times as you can a night. Keep that chitter-chatter of those comics, the negative, that I should be at the store. I watched ARON KADER the other night, he sucks. Joey Diaz couldn't follow Joe Rogan the other night, he sucks. I watched this guy's Netflix special and he sucked. Just focus. I was telling those guys that my favorite part of life is going to the store an hour before my set in the original room, not the main room, the original room, getting fucking stoned. I mean, even to the point of taking like a half a Xanax stoned. And knowing that I'm up in an hour and I will sit back there and I will get sucked in by those 4 comics. And I will learn more by watching those 4 comics.
Yep.
And I hate when a comic comes up to me and ruins it. Don't even say hello. Just sit next to me and I'll look at you like that in my eyes. Don't ask me if I'm next. Don't say fucking nothing. Because that's all you should be worried about. As Americans, we have so many things to try to throw us off our game.
Yeah.
When you come up to me and you go, can you believe this criminal investigation? I just laugh because they just got you.
Yeah.
They just got you. They just got you to do exactly what they wanted to do. For you to take your mind off the ball for 20 minutes.
That's kind of what they want. But, you know, the first time, 2 things. One, Mitzi gave me a spot after I'd showcased. She threw me on some show that was on in the main room. So she put me on in this, and I think maybe Ahmed and Jay were producing the show in like 99. And then it was a 15-minute spot or something like that. Anyway, I was like, geez, that's like, I thought she'd have me in the original room before that, but.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.